Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health. Dipika Belapurkar is a mentor to people from all walks of life. Whether therapists or students of therapy, or those looking to fully blossom into their unique potential. She provides a dynamic and vibrant space for others to unfold into their best possible selves through a deep inquiry into themselves. She brings to this mentor role her own varied experience as a writer, counselor, teacher, and practitioner, imparting all that she personally has gathered as wisdom on her own journey towards self-awareness. If you are keen to grow with her, to gain greater understanding of a therapist's unique role in transforming humanity, do connect with her at www.beingstillness.co.in.
Thank you for continuing on our shared healing journey. Let us add on to yesterday. And what further steps would you take today if you decided to do things differently? Would you not consider starting at the very beginning? Healing your childhood trauma, that is the beginning. And that can happen if you know and understand your childhood. You never had to look into its aspects when you were a child. Then why are we doing now? Why are we doing it as an adult? Because if you are stuck in your life, in your career, in your relationships, in poor eating habits, in your inabilities to take major decisions, and in every other aspect of your life, you have been told to look for answers. And where do you look for answers? But of course, in your childhood. And you have also probably heard that you will continue to enact the emotional environment of your childhood until the very end. And so, unless it hurts you enough in adult life to want to change something, you have learned way back then. So what could possibly go wrong in our childhood with caregivers who love us, who nurture us, or who nourish us, people that intend the best for us? Nothing and everything, right? Nothing if we spend all our years at home safe and nurtured by our caregivers. That we can understand for sure. Whereas everything can go wrong in our adult lives if we re-establish dysfunctionality that existed in our homes. It could be neglect, it could be abuse, for instance. It could be neglect and abuse that you are now administering to yourself or to someone else in your life, somebody close to you. So in this talk, we will explore here the legacy of a difficult childhood that we carry into our adult lives, that which permeates into every single aspect of our daily life. We took our difficult childhood to be a typical one, never questioning its strangeness or lack of rightness. We just took it for what it was. We knew no better. We had nothing to relate it to, nothing to compare it with. And we grew into it. We adapted to it. We carried its imprints into all our adult relationships, subconsciously hoping that these adult relationships would then feed us what we lacked as children. If you feel you are facing big challenges in your adult life, which might have started off first as really tiny, small ones as you were growing up, then ignoring their source, ignoring where they started, can lead you into a bodily reaction in some time. It could happen when you are young, in your early 30s. It could happen later in your mid-40s, midlife crisis, or it could happen post-50s or even later. But at some time in your life, something like that will come up. And it will come up in the form of maybe digestive issues or mood fluctuations or mental agitations or even more serious stuff like autoimmune conditions or neurological disorders. It could be anything. So exposing the path to adulthood, the one that you took, your own individual unique path, so to speak, becomes necessary if you want to heal from the effects of your childhood trauma. The second step, once you have recognized it, once you have accepted it, the second step is to embrace it. To embrace anything that comes up as memories from your childhood. Whether the memories are good, whether they are bad, to embrace all of that because that is from your childhood. Considering none of it can be erased, right? And ignoring it is to your peril. So what are you left with? A best option is to get professional help, to help you work with this and work through this so that you come out at the other end as a whole and healed, complete human being. You will find one thing at the end of it, and that is liberation. You will find liberation in accepting the truth of who you are and what makes you what you are, which means you will accept everything that has happened to you in this life and not resist it by ignoring it or pushing it into the dark background. Once you have before you the emotional remains of your childhood, now what must you do with it after embracing its existence? Again, I stress upon the need for a professional therapist here, only because that person can be the loving, kind, compassionate mirror that you may have lacked as you grew up. So, in a place of safety, such as this created by your professional therapist, you will learn to respond appropriately without censuring yourself, without calling yourself unwholesome, ugly names when things don't go right in your life. More importantly, re-scripting a past that intrudes unfavorably on your present. Now, this can happen, in my understanding, via two things: via gratitude and forgiveness. Two very relevant modes of healing. Now, remember, being grateful and being able to forgive are not letting your perpetrator or the person who made your childhood difficult, not letting them off the hook. Forgiving and having gratitude is for your personal healing, not for theirs. Their healing is in their hands. Gratitude and forgiveness, even for the most ugliest thing from your childhood, because the reward for that is freedom. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be free in life, free from burdens, free from all the past that we carry along as a burden? So when you begin working to understand yourself fully, you understand your thoughts, your feelings, your behavioral tendencies, you are then starting to relate to your true identity while shedding the false one that you have been carrying for so many years. You begin to live your life the way it was meant to. Moment. Only once your childhood has been seen in its true form and you're no longer running away from it and you're looking at it with compassion, can we move towards true letting go. So, having carried as a burden a false legacy for so long, we have forgotten what it means to fly, and only freedom from the past can let us do so. So, what I'm getting at is that childhood trauma is more common than we think it is. If you have faced it, you are not alone. You can learn from others who have successfully changed how they relate to it and how they have reached their full potential in this life itself. Thank you for your time, and I hope you will consider your life more deeply if you are looking for answers. I look forward to meeting you again tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourself and
Help Talks are daily health-related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com.